And we're live.
Hooray!
Yeah, we did it.
Nice.
Woo.
Back again. Episode 2 of the week.
What we
Yeah.
do.
Which is throwing me off a little bit.
Yep.
Yep.
For sure.
Well, we're already talking about that. I'll just mention it off the top. Wow, we all played the same game this week. Holy smokes. Game of the week.
Hell yeah,
Wow.
we did.
For those who don't follow the Patreon, our ranking episode thing that we talked about back in February, we finally recorded it on Tuesday and it is live. So if you'd like to see us rank 41 random games from best to worst, the definitive list. No one has made a list like this ever before.
You can guarantee that.
Ever.
Yep. You can hear the audio on if you're a patron. If you want to watch us build it in real time and see the Google Doc, you can do the $5 tier and you can watch that episode as well. Same kind of tier structure as the TDP Plus episodes. But anyway, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
What have you guys been up to since we last spoke?
Work.
Sleep.
I booked a flight to Ireland.
Oh, you did do it. Okay, cool.
I did it. The $600 round trip ticket was too good not to do.
As you said, you were
so
losing money not doing it, so.
Exactly. I leave in 3 weeks. Like,
okay.
This is so fast. That's pretty cheap for how close the trip is.
Yeah, for sure.
So, if anyone listening has recommendations for Ireland and stuff, please send them my way. I'm building my itinerary as we speak. I'm looking forward to that.
I think I know a guy in Ireland. I'll tweet at him to see if he has anything to tweet at you.
Okay. But can't remember, John. Did you go to Ireland?
That's where we went for a honeymoon, yeah.
Oh, so you must have recommendations for me.
I mean, I don't know if I really have recommendations because we went to Dublin. We stayed there for a couple days and just kind of went around there. Like, if you want to go see some breweries and stuff like that, you're gonna have a great time there. But like, it's just very scenic there. And then we went to Northern Ireland for a bit. And like, are you renting a car or what are you doing to get around?
I'm not renting a car. I'll just be busing it and training it around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just busing it.
Yeah. There's plenty of like great like nature trails and like hiking places. So I think you'll have a good time if you want to do all that. Like we went and saw some castles. We saw some places where they had shot Game of Thrones at. That was the original reason we ended up actually doing the trip.
I have seen as I'm looking at like landmarks, they keep advertising Game of Thrones, blah blah blah, which I don't have an attachment to Game of Thrones, but I just want to go for the landmarks.
Yeah.
We actually, while we were wandering around trying to find a Game of Thrones marker, like a Game of Thrones like location, we ended up finding the set for Krypton, the show Krypton that HBO was doing.
Oh,
wow. Okay.
Cool.
So like no one was there actively, but they left all the gear there, so I guess they were just like off for the day or something like that. So we just saw like trucks for like filming and like power generators and just random shit lying around. It was interesting.
None of the travel websites have mentioned the Krypton tour.
I can't imagine why.
So that's not a big draw, it sounds like. I think there's some Lord of the Rings sets somewhere in
Makes
Ireland
sense.
as well, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, should be good. But yeah, anyways, I'll take any information you might have, John. So yeah.
It is not much because that was 4 years ago.
Okay.
God, how has it been 4 years?
Wow. 4.5 technically, but yeah.
This is the top down perspective for April 6th. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
Sean Wheeler.
And why don't all three of us talk about the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog?
I mean, he deserved it, so I don't know what else we have to say.
He was asking for it.
He was asking.
He pissed off so many doctors for so long. You can't keep messing with doctors. They'll get back to you if you're not eating apples.
Yeah, exactly.
I did like the trailer for it. Just kind of starts off like, all right, we've heard you loud and clear. We've killed Sonic the Hedgehog. Which I was like, okay, all right. So best Sonic game ever. Already, let's go.
They listened to the feedback, they said.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those who don't know, it was an April Fool's gag game that is punching above its weight as far as I'm concerned.
It's actually fantastic. I really liked it.
I didn't finish it because we just did it for stream, but like I really enjoyed it. Like the characterization was really good. The character designs they did for everyone was fun. It's like a fun, playful like whodunit.
Yeah, very much so.
Character design wise, I'll say quickly, I haven't finished it yet. It's kind of like my before bed game, so I understand it's like 2 hours long. I gotta be half to 75% done.
I mean,
At
if
this
you know
point.
the map of the train, I think you basically know your progress through the game.
Pretty for the most part, yeah.
Oh, there's no like doubling back or anything like that.
There's more after, but like it's not it's not
Well, there's some
doubling
like
back.
end game content.
No,
Yeah, some, like,
it's
new
not.
game
No,
plus.
it's not end game content. It's the story continues from that point.
Okay.
But it's not very much
Um,
longer.
What was I about to say? Oh, I mean, everyone looks like what they would expect. In terms of character design, though, your character is
Yeah.
just like the most like Shaun the Hedgehog in Google. Like, I think
No,
they look super
have you
lame.
seen Paul the Hedgehog? I'm so happy that like my character looked like this. At least this was like, okay, I can deal with this because Paul the Hedgehog is the worst. So,
Someone told me last night or when we played it on stream what the actual like type of animal it was. It was super cute.
oh,
Unfortunately,
okay.
Oh,
I don't
really?
I
remember.
can't remember what it is. I'll look it up here meanwhile. I'm sure
Are
I'll
all
find it.
of the Sonic characters like really literally based on like this
Yeah.
is this animal?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
this
of
Knuckles
course.
the Echidna, Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay, yeah. Rose the Bat. Okay, who's Blaze?
Cat.
I've never seen Blaze.
Blaze the cat.
Where was Blaze introduced?
Sonic Rush and Sonic 06.
Oh, okay. And they're from a different dimension, it sounds
Yeah.
like.
And I think 06 is non-canon, but yeah, like Blaze is from the Soul dimension or something like that, and like she's looking for the Soul Emeralds, SOL. But yeah, she gets
Okay.
introduced in Rush and Rush Adventure, and then she just kind of hops in and out depending on.
Why
Oh.
is 06 that is titled Sonic the Hedgehog
Yep.
not canon?
I would say, do you care about story spoilers? But something tells me you don't give a shit.
I didn't even know there was like a story to care about.
I mean,
Besides,
the game ends in
Eggman
a
is the
time
bad
loop,
one.
basically.
Okay.
So
Was it clear going into 06 when it was coming out that they was non-canon, or was the reception so bad they were like, "Don't worry, guys, this one was a side thing and it doesn't even count." Like, we're with you.
it was
Haha.
more so like just how the story goes. It's just how the story goes.
Okay.
The main character is a quokka, which is one of the cutest animals in the world. It's
Okay,
the
that's what it
smiley
was.
animal that you'll see in
Thank you.
memes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it. My girlfriend sends me a lot of pictures of quokkas.
They're great. Yeah. I didn't realize that's what it was at all.
Well, is there a capybara yet? I feel like that's like the hot animal right now.
There probably is in the comics, but not in the like the actual games. No.
Mm.
Okay, so like the true fans know about the capybara character. Maybe the capybara is an evil one.
Kip the capybara
is-
is a character that appears in Sonic the Hedgehog comic series and its spin-offs published by IDW.
There we go.
There you go.
Kip
Nice.
the capybara. He's cute too.
There's the crocodile guy. What's he from?
Vector, he's from.
He's a Chaotix team member.
Yeah, Knuckles Chaotix and Sonic Heroes.
Okay, and then what's the other one? That's like he's kind of purple or pink.
Espio,
Yeah,
he's
SBO.
a
What?
chameleon, I assume, and yeah, same thing.
Chameleon.
Knuckles Chaotix and Sonic Heroes.
Yeah, he's a chameleon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well. Yeah, I think this game is totally fine.
Yeah.
It might be my favorite Sonic game because that is such a low bar.
I was gonna say that's not saying
Uh,
much, but it's probably one
No,
of mine
exactly.
too. Yeah, I like
And
it a
because
lot.
I'm using it
God,
as like
too.
a before bed game, I don't like the ring mini game because it wakes me up.
Oh,
Because I have to be like alert and I can't just read. So I went into
Oh
the
man,
settings
reflex testing.
and turned the there's like some accessibility features. You can turn like the ring goal down as low as 50%. So now I don't have to care as much.
there's a lot of accessibility options actually. You can just turn off damage and pitfalls in that as well, and like let it play itself till the end if you want. I think that's great.
For those who don't know what this game is, it's a visual novel murder mystery. where someone has murdered Sonic on. They're planning to go on a train, Murder on the Orient Express style,
Yeah.
to do a fun murder mystery. But then Sonic actually gets murdered. Although, I mean, no spoilers. I haven't seen the ending. When we came to Sonic's body, he spoke to us.
Yeah.
And now everyone's referring to him as being dead.
Well,
Which
because everyone thinks he was just in the role. He was just
That
the
he
one
was
picked
playing.
for the murder mystery.
Right.
Okay, yeah, but he isn't dead.
I mean, you
Because
don't know
everyone
that because you
thinks
didn't
he's
finish it.
in the role. Have you never? Okay, here.
Oh,
Have you ever done a
okay.
murder mystery dinner or anything like that?
No, I see
Okay.
what you're saying. I see.
Yeah.
I see what
So
you're
you
saying.
have to be dead. You don't get to really do much.
Also, as the only one here that beat it, you don't know that he isn't. Beat the game first
Yeah,
before you say that.
maybe
Alright.
that's it. Maybe this was the last Sonic the Hedgehog game.
Because,
All I'm saying,
there's no way this is canon, is what I'll say.
that's what I was about to say. If he's actually dead, that better be canon. And I will say it right now.
Uh-huh.
If this is the last Sonic the Hedgehog game, I'll give it Game of the Year.
Okay, that's pretty good.
I'll just do that.
Part of me
Just
kind
gonna
of
go out on a
hopes
limb
it
and say
is,
no.
just because I want Sean to be the one to say that it's Game of the Year, a Sonic game.
I mean, Sonic Origins Plus is coming out in like a week or like
Yeah,
a month. So yeah, it ain't. But
We could not count that because it's just basically
it's a collection,
adding
I guess.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
still funny to think about though.
it is. Yeah, for sure.
I'm playing this on the Steam Deck, which is
Sure.
nice. There's some like community control support, so that's been pretty enjoyable. Although I will say, and this is the first time I've seen it on the Steam Deck, when I have it set to like full Steam Deck resolution,
Mhm.
it like breaks a lot of the user interface. Basically, anything that is interactable will
Oh.
show up twice. There'll be a slightly smaller version, just a little askew from it.
Weird.
Super
Okay.
weird. I've never seen this before. So I had to switch it to like 720. So it's screen size. It's like a little letterboxed, but it like fixed the image. So yeah, that was kind of just my one little thing. Anyway, this game's free. It's on Steam.
My little thing with it is I don't really like those sections where you're collecting rings.
Yeah.
That much.
You can tell those are in for padding. You can
For sure.
absolutely tell.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think it's an okay game, and for free, why not? Like,
I had a really
it
good
was
time
a
with
fun
it.
surprise.
Yeah.
Speaking of April Fools, did you guys see any game-related April Fools that you actually thought was good?
No, I don't go online April Fools because I fucking hate
I
April
saw
Fools.
really little this year.
The developers of Bug Snacks put out a trailer for Octodad 3 Bug Snacks 2. That was the subtitle, was Bug Snacks 2, where you
Okay.
play as Octodad on the island, like picking up and herding bug snacks, and it actually looks pretty good, but that game doesn't exist, so it's just kind of a bummer. But the trailer is enjoyable. And there's a special song for the trailer, since they always have like a good song, so it's actually worth like looking it up.
Cool.
Yeah. And then John, that's all you played this week?
I mean, I played that on stream. I'm trying to remember what I even played on stream on Monday. I remember I did Terminal Velocity Boosted Edition, which was a re-release of like a mid-90s space combat game. You know, one of those like 360 free motion flight games where you can just kind of shoot down enemies and stuff like that, like Descent.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Did a sponsored segment for that. That was fun. I played Have a Nice Death, which I got to play that.
Yeah.
Thanks to
Yeah,
Sean.
the
Sean gave me the code for
copy.
that.
I got you.
Yeah.
That game's cool, right?
That game is actually really cool. The combat feels really fun.
That's what I was saying is, and I was talking to the developer. It feels really good. I guess they had a consultant on there from the Dead Cells team.
That would explain why everyone was saying it felt very Dead Cellsy. I can see that easily.
Yeah, that's a cool game.
Yeah. And I played Zhao Mei and the Flame Dragon's Fist, which was like this weird indie game from Japan that's based off of like the old Kung Fu NES game. It looked cool, but it was like had a lot of arcade bullshit difficulties. So like it took a bit to get. It was like 6 stages, but it took like an hour to get through like one run. Even like I think half of that hour was probably just like one stage. But yeah, that's pretty basically all I played this week.
Okay. Then Paul, you and I should discuss Dredge.
Yeah. Let's talk about
Go
Dredge.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead. I talked a lot about Sonic for some reason.
Okay, how
Alright,
far did you
everyone-
get it? Sorry?
I was gonna say everyone's been telling me about this game, so I want to hear about it now because I know nothing about it.
Dredge is a totally normal fishing simulator with nothing crazy going on in it at all.
Oh, I've had the crazy already spoiled.
Yeah. No, it wears that on its sleeve. It is not hiding that there is messed up stuff right from the get-go going on. And, but I guess, like, the thing I might warn people on if I was going to at all is that don't expect... Like, at the end of the day, it is still a fishing game. You're going to be moving around and just doing kind of monotonous fishing stuff and a lot of inventory management, which I loved.
Specifically, like the Resident Evil style inventory management.
The Resident Evil 4, yeah, like Tetrising in your boat sort of thing.
Oh, you're selling me on it.
It's really important that you Tetris in your boat.
I will say, like, I don't want to turn people off if they hear fishing game, they're just turned off. Like, I'm that kind of person. This, you're not like dealing with casting out the rod and
No.
pulling it in slowly. There's no like bait and lure stuff. It's actually like every fish has like a unique mini game, and it's just basically kind of hit the X button at a certain time. You know,
Yeah.
It's like one step more interesting than Animal Crossing fishing.
Yes.
I really like Dredge. I kind of love the whole vibe going on. It's, you know, I would call it a fishing sim. It is arcadey fishing, and it's like just difficult enough to like keep your attention while also being chill enough. I don't want to say this is like a cozy game because it's also Lovecrafty and horror stuff is going on, but just because I'm enjoying like the vibes and the atmosphere of it, it's like working as a cozy game for me.
Yeah, I was going to say I disagree. It's completely cozy. Like, just because there's, like, macabre stuff going on doesn't mean that the actual act of playing it isn't almost meditative, which it is most of the time, until a monster is around and you're just like, oh, just fuck off. I need to catch this eel.
Yeah, that's probably actually the main reason why I wouldn't say cozy is there is, like, actual, like, pushback against
every
you
now and
that
then.
could be, like, stressful.
Yeah.
And as you go further in, it's almost Zelda-esque in terms of like there are 5 islands.
Yeah.
And you will get different abilities or items for your ship that will allow you to get to those islands and traverse them more easily. And that can be straight like the very first island you can't get to because your ship just goes so slow.
Right.
But the first upgrade you'll get gives your ship kind of like a boost. And the reason you can't just sail forever is at nighttime a like Lovecraftian fog shows up that makes stuff really hard to see, and also you start to go insane if you're in the fog for too long because you start to panic too much, which can spawn like evil crows that will just attack your ship, or like actual ghosts and stuff like that.
Yeah. There's a lot of that stuff that is very, very cool. It sometimes, like most horror games, gets annoying though. Like at some point, the horror stuff is just the obstacle that you're just like, oh, just fuck off. I need to get this thing. But that's later on.
Again, though, I would not call it a horror game. Like I would not call it scary. I think macabre was a pretty good way of putting it. It is just the atmosphere is just like kind of spooky and unsettling. Because I just don't want to. I know, like for myself, hearing if it was a horror game would turn me off, and I don't want to turn people off. It is not a horror game. Because I'm really enjoying this game quite a bit. But yeah, and then some days you're just like, we're just going to fish for like 3 days straight because I just need a whole bunch of money because I want to upgrade my hull and I want to be able to carry more fish, or I want to get new kinds of rods because these fish can only work with this kind of rod, blah, blah, blah. And you can catch like lobsters and crabs by putting out crab traps. You can have nets that'll just hang off your ship. So you'll just kind of like passively catch some stuff. And yeah, cool. I'll give a quick pro tip. I think you should upgrade your ship's speed first as soon as you can, because that kind of allows you to get to places faster. And it's all about chasing the sunset. You want to be able to do as much as you can before the sunset goes down. So I think the most important is your ship's speed.
I'll give another
finish
pro
it, Paul?
tip. Yeah, I saw everything the game has to offer. I'll give another pro tip that the game doesn't tell you and pissed me off a little bit. There are people at some point that you can do a like side mission quest thing for them.
Yeah, a few of them. Yeah.
Some of those are timed, and maybe those people might not be there or dead or something later on. So if you get one of those quests, fucking do it, because you won't get the rewards if they're gone.
Interesting. Okay. Cool.
It was kind of cool to come back and just be like, holy shit, what happened here? And then like realizing, oh no, I'm not gonna get the reward for doing the thing now. Like I was bummed out, and also thought it was kind of cool that it's like a living game, but it doesn't give you that warning. So I'm giving you that warning. Take those a little more seriously.
Yeah. I don't like that when you kind of get locked out of doing stuff. Especially because since there's a day-night cycle, it's like sometimes it's like I can't get there for 2 days because this fish is gonna go rot, so I need to go sell this fish.
Yep.
And then I'm not gonna be able to like do a sail across the ocean until blah blah blah. So that's a bit of a bummer. But
I guess like another. So the game is completely open. You can do whatever you want at any time. You're just gonna have more pushback depending if you try to do certain things without certain upgrades. There is a main story that goes through this game, which I think is tropey in its like Lovecraftian nature, but also very good, and I really like how it ends. Obviously, no spoils. But in that quest, the main like quest that you do, the dude who's giving it to you will tell you, like, I suggest maybe checking this area out at the next or whatever. Just listen to him, because that's the right path, like for least resistance. Just in case people were one. There are some of the islands are messed up, and you want to go in there with the most your ship can offer to get around them. So
I'm on the last set of islands, like volcanic ones.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty.
That one specifically was just like, I can't imagine doing this without explosives, without speed boosts, without a better hull. Yeah. So follow that.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I'm quite enjoying it.
It's good.
It's kind of been my go-to one, and sometimes it's just like I want to put a podcast on, and I'm just gonna fish today.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna find a whole bunch of resources, and I'm just gonna upgrade my ship 3 times, and I'm gonna feel good.
Yeah. Upgrading your ship and getting like a little more cargo space, and that's so good. It feels so good every time.
And what's really fun about the piecing the inventory together, Tetrising it around, is you have to do that for your upgrades as well. It's like, okay, how can I fit the most motors on this?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I put these 2 motors, it's going to give me 36.5. But if I put 2 of these small ones and then I put the L-shaped motor, I'll get 37. And that's fun too. And you do the same thing with the rods.
There were a few days where I'm just like, okay, what can I completely take out so that I can just fill up with fish and get the most money for this day? Okay, I'm not gonna trawl with my net, so I'm gonna take that out. I can fit more fish in
Take the light off.
You can take the light off if I know I'm not gonna be out at night or whatever. Yeah, there's a lot of weird modularity you can do to kind of like sync up with how you want to play it. That game is so good. It's very, very good.
There's a fun little like passive mechanic where NPCs will just give you books to read.
Yeah.
And then it just goes, there's just like a timer on it basically. Once you finish the book, you just have like 10% faster at fishing now.
Yeah, you have stat upgrades. That's how you get them.
And I just like the idea of like you're on the thing and your fisherman's just reading a book that someone gave him, and he's just like, oh, I'm better at organizing, my intake now, blah blah blah.
Or like my boat takes less damage now or something. Yeah, there's a bunch of weird things that those do. It's good. It's fun.
Good. Again, that game is Dredge.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do some news. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
How long is the game?
4-6 hours.
Okay, so not too bad.
Oh, no, I mean, if you mainline it, I have 15 in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm curious about how long the beat has it.
One thing I didn't do is I didn't fill out my encyclopedia, which is just like see one of every fish, and I'm not going to, honestly.
Yeah. Okay, so how long to beat it has it at 8 hours, and then 11 and a half and 16 and a half. So
yeah,
there are side quests and stuff you can do and stuff like that.
The side quests are interesting because they all give a reward unless you mess it up, in which case you don't fail the quest. It's just like, your quest ended prematurely, basically, so you don't get the reward.
I
which
don't
is
think I've ever seen that happen.
yeah, like one of them is like you escort somebody somewhere, and I got attacked while I was doing it,
Oh, damn.
and they fell overboard and they just like drowned, I guess, because they were gone, and it just like on your little quest finder, it will usually say like you found all the fish or you did the thing or whatever. That one says person capsized, and then it's crossed out.
How did you not just like turn the game off immediately?
Because who cares?
I would have. I cared. I would have cared. I would have been like, nope, we're doing that correctly. I'm not letting that happen. I'm gonna save that person's life.
Yeah, nothing in that. None of that stuff really matters. It's all just there for a reward, which is also nice, where there's not like some really important intrinsic thing tied to you have to get this quest done. It's just like, oh, it's gonna take you longer to like get maybe an upgrade now.
So yeah, I guess a lot of the rewards are just like, here's a resource that might be kind of rare, but you'll find more of them later.
Or books. A lot of them are books, which like
Okay.
it sucks to not get those stat upgrades, but I'll live with it.
Yeah. All right. News for real time. This was reported over on The Verge. So for those who don't know, the Xbox Series S and Series X have a proprietary like memory card expansion port that Seagate makes these hard drives, and you can plug any kind of USB hard drive into your Xbox, but you can't run modern games off the hard drive. You can run like Xbox One and 360 games off them, but in order to get like the quick resume and the really fast loading speeds, it needs to be off of these Seagate branded little tiny hard drives that plug into the expansion port.
Okay.
Western Digital is finally making a competitor to this, which it was kind of surprising that no one had made another one. It was just Seagate, and as a result, there was no competition, and the prices were insane.
Yeah.
You were looking at like $200 for, I think,
Ooh.
It's like
for 1
250
terabyte
bucks for a
card.
terabyte. It's been
Wow.
awful. I've held off on them because it's like 2 of these would be the price of the system.
I didn't realize it was that bad. That's insane. Okay.
Here, I'm gonna look it up while you're reading the rest of this.
It was actually pretty like on par pricing when the Xbox Series S and X launched, but they never changed, and
Right.
those prices have gone down. So Western Digital is coming out with another one. Hopefully this will bring some competition and actually make these go down. Because even up to this point, like I was always thinking like maybe I should get one of these, but the most I would see them on discount is like $10 off. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Mm.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
For reference's sake, 2 terabyte card is $489.99 Canadian on Amazon.
Fuck.
Yeah. And the 1 terabyte and 512 are apparently on Amazon at least are just listing like reseller prices, but they're both $288.
Okay.
And then so like and then like the Seagate model is typically around 180 American. The Western Digital one that is coming out, like the same one, is about $40 less. So it's not a huge difference, but I'll take anything. You know,
They'll
Yeah.
actually go on sale now because there's 2 options.
Yeah.
there's competition. Exact. That's kind of the big thing. So, yeah, the big question is just like why was no one making one of these? Like Microsoft never came out and said like it's exclusive, blah blah blah. We're just partnering.
Did they
with
not?
Seagate.
I've always thought that was the case. I figured Seagate had some kind of like not rights.
I mean, they must have. I don't remember them specifically saying that, but that must
Some
have been
agreement.
the case.
Yeah. Some like
Yeah, so I
non-complete
guess something.
compete clause or something.
Yeah, because it is a proprietary thing, so maybe they were. Yeah, maybe it was like an exclusive partnership, but I just don't remember them like saying that. And I guess it's over. So
Yeah. Good.
Cool.
Thank
I think
God.
it's more so at Microsoft realized, like, oh god, no one's buying this because it's stupid expensive.
Yeah.
Devolver Digital has purchased developer Doinksoft,
Cool.
which is a great name, and you'll
Yeah.
know Doinksoft from games like Gato Roboto, Demon Throttle, and the upcoming Gumbrella.
Yeah. Hell
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, Demon Throttle, you can just buy that now. It no longer is like the weird physical only like limited release. You can just buy the regular release on Amazon now. It's still physical only, but you can actually get the game.
You can
at a
get them,
store.
yeah. I remember seeing it at PAX West, and I was
Yeah.
like, wait, wasn't that thing like super rare or something? Why is it just here for like $25? Should
Yeah.
I be like jumping at this? Like,
Apparently you can just get it now. It's a great game. I really enjoyed Demon Throttle. but it is
Big
is
surprise!
difficult.
It was just a marketing ploy to get people to buy this.
Yeah, we all knew that though, right?
Well,
Like,
I mean that was the point. It's like it's
Yeah.
still physical only, so there's still the ploy. But yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, it is still weird. Okay, this next story is just a rumor, but so many people were reporting on it. I felt weird if we didn't.
Okay.
right. This.
There's talk that Sony is working on a new handheld.
Okay.
It is codenamed Q Lite,
hmm
but what's weird is it's only going to be a remote play streaming device from your PS5.
This somehow doesn't surprise me because they love remote play.
So this
But
would
like,
do,
it doesn't seem important enough to like be real.
Right.
yeah, like this is the exact equivalent of using your phone with the remote play app
Yeah.
and a backbone or your
Right.
PlayStation controller with a clip. It would do that.
Right.
But now this device can't also be your phone, so it's worse.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
This is a weird one.
It seems just like a bad idea enough that they probably will do it. Like, it's probably true, honestly.
Well, so that's what I'm thinking. This is a bad enough idea that they won't do it. There's no way it could be just this because everyone has a phone. You can also remote play to a laptop, to your computer.
Oh, you're thinking that, like, it's not just this. It will be a handheld device that isn't just remote play, but maybe it's something else or
If
whatever.
it is just this, like, you've already shot it in the foot. Like, why
For
put this
sure.
out?
PlayStation phone coming back, baby.
Hell yeah.
I guess, but bring it to the brain trust. Who is the consumer for this? Like, what is the possible, like, best case scenario? Where would this make sense?
It's the Wii U scenario where someone wants to use the TV, but someone still wants to play the PlayStation, so they just
And
play
they
it
don't
portably.
have a phone?
Yes.
And they don't have a laptop or a computer or any other internet-connected device in their house with a screen.
Yes.
Yeah, like your
I'm
kid,
not. I'm
you get
not
it for your
saying it's a
kid or
good-
something.
Yeah, it's gotta be for a kid.
I don't
But
know.
even then, it's
who
probably
else.
expensive as hell, and I don't think I would trust a kid with it.
And I don't think
So
the
that's
kid
another
would
question.
even like it.
If it is just a remote play thing,
Uh-huh.
which for the record, like I have really great internet. I'm sure my walls suck, but I use the remote play on my Steam Deck from time to time. I would not say it is great. I
Sure.
would say it is serviceable, but every time I load that up, it's kind of just like fingers crossed. Let's hope it's a good night.
Right.
So like remote play is not perfect enough to like, lean on or whatever.
For sure.
This
yeah.
thing has to be cheap then, right?
Assuming that's the only function, yeah.
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 But it's Sony,
However,
so it won't be.
Exactly. It's PlayStation who just raised the price of their PS5 and released PSVR 2 at a higher price point than the console. And this thing still requires a PS5. So no matter, regardless, you got to spend $500 for the PS5 at least.
Oh, okay. This video is just for remote play. I thought, like, did they actually show something? But no, it's just for
No,
the
did not
idea
show
of
anything.
remote play.
This is all a rumor.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what the use case for this is, honestly. I don't know who you could sell this to.
I don't
personally.
think there is one, which is why I'm thinking
Right.
like this can't be real, or this is a case of Sony's trying to make their own, or someone on the team just really wanted to make a new Vita.
I mean, like another perspective to look at this is like, we see Xbox, they've gone in on cloud gaming, and
Yeah.
that seems like the right play because everyone has a phone. So they don't have to worry about hardware stuff. They just got to deal with like the software.
Right.
Let's say the rumor is incorrect and they're actually going to make some kind of successor to like, the PSP or the PS Vita.
Uh-huh.
I don't even see people wanting that really in a world where the Steam Deck exists.
The Steam Deck or the Switch.
No, there's definitely Sony fanboys that will, like, only buy this because they're like, finally, a Steam Deck for me, sort of thing. There's definitely that person, but yeah, like, the wider market, probably not.
Because I look at it and I'd be like, okay, so what would a, let's just say Vita 2 to give it a name. What would the Vita 2 have that the Steam Deck couldn't do? So you would have some kind of
PlayStation exclusives.
exclusives on there.
Yeah.
So it would have to be pretty powerful because you would want, like, those PlayStation exclusives are known for looking great, right? And running well.
Sure.
So it would have to be pretty powerful. You must not care about third party or indie games at all because the Steam Deck does that. Just fantastic. But we also live in an era where a few months later, a year later, 2 years later, a lot of Sony first party games are coming to PC more and more often now.
Yeah, but if it's their own enclosed ecosystem, they'll actually run on this thing where they might not on the Steam Deck because they don't know how to port for PC certain games or like things break or whatever. So like,
I mean, you could say that with all PC games and ports at this point.
yes, but what I'm saying is that their advantage is that putting their own games out on their own hardware would be infinitely more accessible than a Steam Deck. That's like the kind of the only reason if they wanted to do that, which seems short-sighted.
Basically, there's no real good reason we can think of. Like,
Yeah.
I think the only
I would
solid one I'm
also-
seeing right now is what Lineback says in chat is, well, if they sell in Southeast Asia, they'll have something that Steam Deck doesn't.
Oh, wow. Okay, fair. Yeah. I don't know, like out of touch marketing people or something. I don't understand where this is either. Like why this would even be a thing.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people, I know a lot of people are excited about how well the Steam Deck is doing.
Yeah.
ASUS just announced a Steam Deck competitor this week. Like, I'm sure we're going to get more people announcing Steam Deck competitors.
Didn't like Lenovo do one recently, or Logitech?
Logitech did a streaming
streaming one, you're right.
one. Right. So, yeah, and then, but it's also an Android device, so you can download like Google Play games. But I wouldn't really put that on par with a Steam Deck. I would put it on par with your phone with a controller clip. Kind of
right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. Well, we'll see. Time will tell.
Yep. Vampire Survivors is getting more DLC.
Sure. That makes sense.
April 3rd. The Tides of the Oscari? However you pronounce that. Sure. April 13th. I think I said that wrong. Hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
More the merrier, right? Yeah.
Agreed.
And this last one I was alerted to from the Discord is that the Five Nights at Freddy's movie has a release date of October 27th of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We don't have the Minecraft movie news, do we not?
Is there more news about the Minecraft? Oh, it got a release date. That's right.
You got a release date, and it stars Jason Momoa.
That one we did know because I remembered. Okay. I remember that one. What was the release? Was the release date was next year or was it 2025?
I think it's 2025.
Okay.
Jeez.
Looking it up. Yep, 2025.
Or was it a more specific date?
April 4th, 2025.
Okay, well, that's 2 years almost to the day of this podcast.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be great. They have 2 years to make it.
Yep.
I'm sure Jason Momoa won't have any regrets.
He probably already does, to be fair. Quite a few.
Let's do some questions. If you would like to send questions in, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box.
Episode titles. We pushed them back last week, so let's get through them real quick. All right. Wait, are these not in... Okay. January 19th. We need you to send pictures of your ear.
What?
We need you to send in pictures of your ear.
Pretty sure I know this one.
Is this VR related?
Yeah, no, it's not.
Okay.
This wasn't for like getting like a
it's
realistic
EAR related.
EAR related. Okay.
That spells ear?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Pictures of your ear. Does this have to do with the weird, like, audio thing that PlayStation was doing? Like,
oh,
wasn't there something like, we need Didn't Mark Cerny say this actually?
It's Mark Cerny. Yeah, you got it.
He said, yeah, he said,
because you guys can't remember. But during one of the like PlayStation before the PS5 came out, and it was just like we're talking about the architecture. He got really into like their audio that they were doing, and he was like, "So send me photos of your ear." He did a call out. He wanted people to do that.
Okay, I'm reading the context, and yes, that's what it is. A question came up asking how far we would go to save the Stadia. Spoilers, nowhere. Assuming it came back 18 months from then, Sean said these pictures would be what these pictures would be what they would need, bringing back a famous quote from Mark Cerny back when they were announcing audio enhancements for the PS5. The alternate title was Secret Canadian Handshake for this one.
I don't know the context for that.
Well, I can tell you, it apparently has to do with rock band Bladder of Steel and Sean talking to Jeff Keighley and like being buddies about doing that or something and doing the Secret Canadian Handshake. That's what that was about. Okay.
Yeah, we did that one off camera. It's a little PG-13.
January 26th. 1,000 Dragon Years. I have no idea.
That's Fire Emblem Engage.
Oh, okay.
Because the character is 1,000 years old, or they sleep for 1,000 years, but their human age is 17.
Oh, okay.
Their human age is 17? I forgot about that.
Well, I looked it up. Yeah. You're right. Sean started playing Fire Emblem Engage, questioning the logistics behind the world and its characters. Among them is the fact he played Divine Dragon who slept for 1,000 years, meaning all previous interactions with friends, fans, and such were confusing to him. John stated that at last the fact that they were dragon years made more sense.
That's right. Yeah, now I remember some of the NPCs were like, we were buddies before.
Right.
Yeah.
But that
story
that's in dragon
sucks,
years.
Man.
February 2nd. I hate this. I hate watching this 10-hour movie.
I mean, that's...
It sounds like Paul's voice to me.
There's no way I would watch a 10-hour movie.
I was going to say this sounds like Sean, but I hesitated because I'm like, oh, it could have been any of us.
Are you saying that like I would watch a 10-hour movie?
Yeah, out of the three of us, for sure.
No. Absolutely not.
Okay.
I struggle with like 3-hour movies.
It's obviously not a real movie, though, right? It's probably like a TV series or... Because 10 hours. It's probably a TV series or maybe like a short game or something.
Were we talking about like The Last of Us, maybe?
There's no way we would say I hate watching this 10-hour movie about The Last of Us, though, right?
I wouldn't watch... I'm glad that was broken up as a TV show. I would not watch a 10-hour movie. I don't care what it's about.
Of that, yeah. Okay, I'm going to look up the context. If you want to keep guessing while I read it, then...
No, just go ahead.
Yeah. Sean summed up sentiments about New Tales from the Borderlands. He wasn't alone in this, as the Steam reviews painted the same picture. Paul wondered how did these people reach that time mark, and John suggested they might have fallen asleep. Okay, February 9th. There's a lot of questionable things about this. This is so vague. I have no...
I wasn't here for that week, so...
I'm just gonna... There's an alternative one, so this one is a Kotaku article was read during the news segment about recent Nintendo Direct. What was notable was the bizarre order of announcements, omission of release dates, and other information which baffled Sean. Yeah, Kotaku dropping the ball, as usual. The alternative title for this week was Let's Say the Blair Witch Was Real. Which I also don't. I have no idea, so I'm just going to look at it. Question came up asking whether a quality product that no one likes still had quality, which was quickly sidetracked by Sean and Paul.
This conversation.
Trying to find out stipulations for such a movie to even exist, this being one of them.
That was a good conversation.
It was a good conversation, but it was so stupid at the same time.
It was very stupid, yeah.
Okay, February 23rd. I don't believe anyone finds that hot.
Oh, I said this.
That's definitely Sean saying that. Yeah,
that 100%.
Okay, I remember I remember, but if you guys want to guess.
I have no idea.
God,
I don't know if John was here, so Paul, you would be the only one who has a chance.
Is it?
Oh right, I would have been sick this week, right?
Is
Or I
this
was at the
something
charity event, something like that.
that I would even like? Is this like a game? I have no idea.
This is
Would I
Atomic
have?
Heart, where we're talking about the vending machine.
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That has to be it. Context. Sean started playing Atomic Heart, encountered sexy robot Bender, much to his displeasure. You can imagine what kind of lines of dialogue that statement implies.
Basically, yeah.
I don't think I talked about it. I did finish that game. I actually went through the rest of it at some point.
What do you think? Like I feel like the reception of that was pretty middling.
It is the
That was my
most.
reception.
It was like the most unpleasant main character I think I've ever been in a game with for a while.
Wow.
And like the combat and stuff is fine. It's like BioShock light or something, or BioShock-ish in nature. It's okay at best. The open world stuff is absolutely fucking terrible though. March 2nd, 4 different LeBron Jameses. I know what this is.
That sounds like multiverses.
It's yes, kind of. We were talking about what if we made a new poker night at the at the inventory. Who would you put in it? And like we could get LeBron James from Space Jam, LeBron James from Multiverse, LeBron James from Fortnite, and
LeBron James from like the crypto commercial where he's like talking to himself.
yeah,
or something.
That was the conversation. It's like just all different versions of LeBron James for this thing. I remember this conversation well. I think about it often. Context was Sean and Paul were discussing what characters would Telltale include in a hypothetical Poker Night of the Inventory 3. Among them were Rick and Morty, Velma, and LeBron James from Space Jam 2, both versions of him from Crypto.com ad, the one from Multiverses. They also proposed Chris Pratt to be there as himself doing voices of his various characters.
You guys remember that? That was Garfield.
Oh shit. Okay. March 9th. Here's a list of 6.
March 9th.
I should have been home for this one.
There's an alternative title of Plastic Cog Liquid, and I don't have an answer for either of these.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Context for here's a list of 6. A question came up whether one would choose to be shown every action they would take in the next 52.
Oh, right!
Okay, that thing. During the debate, Paul pondered over the possibility if he chose the second option, fearing the worst, ...
Right, because this is the list of, like, you can know exactly everything that's happened to you for, like, a day or something like that. Like, a day off in the future, or, like, 6 random things or something like that.
Right.
It was
The idea being, like,
Yeah.
12 major events. Okay, I choose that. Okay, here's a list of 6 things.
yeah. That's yes, yeah.
Yeah, I remember now. Plastic Cog Liquid was... question came up asking knockoff games they would play in bootleg consoles such as the Sun Slay Station or the Microsoft Xbox, and John came up with this one.
Oh, it's been Gears of War spinoff.
Okay, and the most
No, that would have
recent
been Metal Gear Solid, right?
Oh, no,
Yes.
sorry, you're right. That is Metal Gear Solid.
and the most recent one from the 16th. This thing at the best of time catches fire.
Oh, I know what this is.
This is your mom's heating blanket.
This is my heating blanket that my mom was
Yeah.
sleeping with
Right.
that week.
Yeah. Sean found out on Twitter that the heating blanket he gifted his mother could light on fire. What's more, in order to return to the company demanded a photo of its power cable being cut. Alternative title was I Knew You Would Say Tickle or Caress, God damn it.
I remember this one too. John said that.
I don't remember
To me.
this one, so if you want to enlighten me.
Any ideas, John?
I'm gonna need a refresher on this one.
Yeah.
Paul and I were talking about something to do with like a handshake or whatever, and then you like You had to like put your finger
Yeah, you're
in the
right,
palm, and then I
then
said
tickle
tickle or
it.
like caress it,
Uh-huh.
and then John shouted that out. Yeah,
Okay,
I don't remember what the handshake was about.
I just looked it up. The alternative, it was a third thumb question somebody asked.
Oh right.
Yeah. Thank you for writing in. These are ridiculous every time.
You reminded me. I haven't gotten my refund for that blanket. I need to email the people back.
You gotta do it. Yeah.
This question comes from a Hive. Thoughts on studios exploring new design spaces, releasing these projects on the 1st of April, then gauging public reception.
I think a couple companies have done this.
There's
I
definitely
can't
been
name any
indies
examples.
that have done this. The one I'm thinking of is there is a indie dev who put out Bloodborne PSX, and then as a joke, she put out like Bloodborne Cart or whatever, and people are like, "This is awesome," and that's coming out in the next year or so because she's been making it.
I find it a bummer when they do that, and it's like, wow, this does seem cool, and then they're like, well, it's not real.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I wish it was. So I would prefer if they were like, well, hey, wouldn't it be funny if this was a thing? Yes, it would. Well, here's the game right now. That was kind of cool about Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes. Agreed. I mean, I'm kind of for this. I hate April 1st like I won't even bother reading anything on April 1st online because it's all bullshit and I don't care.
Yeah.
So
I feel like companies have calmed down on it over the years.
They
just
have.
get, like the rare gems like Sonic's.
I think a lot of people feel the same way I do, which is why they have.
Yeah. I saw someone saying like, yeah, people don't like being tricked on April Fools anymore because the rest of the world kind of sucks. So like we don't need more things that suck. So I think that's partly why.
Yeah. But if it's a day that like people have widely known all of this is bullshit and companies want to use it as like, hey, isn't this a funny idea? No? Okay. And then like hide back in the shadows or get emboldened by it? Sure. Why not? That's probably the best day to do that.
All right, Suku writes in and says, everything wants to have a subscription model these days, and why wouldn't they? Now the question, how many do you have currently? How many are video game related? Do you have enough time to play all the free games that come with it?
Okay, hold on. Let me quickly grab a notepad and...
Okay, does it have to be media based or does my gym membership count?
I
would
that
assume...
counts.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait. That's not a subscription, is it? That's a member...
That's
What's
a
the
membership.
difference?
I pay every month to use their
To do the
facilities.
thing.
I'm subscribed to...
I assume we're talking about things that you can do at home.
Let's say media
that is the
related.
mark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's say media related.
Okay. Does it count if my plan is like, I paid for a month of it and I'm going to cancel it because I'm just going to binge this show?
Oh.
Or does it need to be something I like ongoingly subscribe to?
On that note, is it just stuff I pay for? Because I share stuff with my family. I pay for some.
I think the
they pay
question
for
is,
some.
yeah, that's the thing is, I share a bunch, so just count yours. Let's
Okay.
do the ongoing ones so that you're actually subscribed to it.
Okay.
Xbox and Spotify. I mean, and then I guess Nintendo Online and PlayStation Online.
Okay. Mine are Disney Plus, Xbox Game Pass, YouTube Premium, and Twitch Turbo.
Okay, mine's Game Pass. I have like a movie theater subscription as well.
Right. I kind of cancel that. I use it for a free ticket every now and then if I'm gonna go. So I could count that too. I have a Cineplex thing.
Yes, technically I am paying for the Prime subscription.
Oh, I guess that's the case. That counts for me too.
Oh right, Amazon Prime. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
There's always more
forgot.
that you're not remembering, and that's the
Yeah.
problem. I'm technically subscribed to our Patreon, so that I make sure everything is showing up correctly in the feeds for patrons.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I've
I
got a couple
canceled
artists
that.
I'm on Patreon for.
I canceled
I guess
that. I'm
those
part of the problem.
four. Yeah, those four. Also,
Yeah.
do I have enough time to play all the free games that come from it? I'm
God, no.
30 years old.
Is that a yes?
That's obviously a no.
Oh, right. I pay for the Nintendo Switch online / expansion.
Right. Yep.
So I pay for that as well. My game ones are Game Pass and Nintendo Switch, and no, like, that's insane. Who has the free time to play everything on those?
You could maybe do some of the like smaller ones that only update monthly, like Prime. You get, like, I think you get maybe 8 games a month or something. It's probably less than that now.
I mean, if we
You
want to
could
be
maybe do
technical,
that.
I do have enough time to play all of them if, like, I played, like, 10 minutes of each one or something. But
Yeah,
I
sure,
think they
yeah.
mean, like, a good portion to maybe to finish. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the only way I ever would have had enough time it was when I was a teenager. Like that's it.
And, like, even then, I don't know that I would have. There's a lot of stuff on those.
Now there's a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Shane,
bet Game Pass alone, I could have done it because I was like borrowing games from friends. Like I was playing a lot. I'm still playing a lot, but yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Shane the Destroyer writes, what's a game in the series that's your favorite of the series that fans of that series generally don't like? Mine personally is Metroid Prime 2 of the Prime series, not Metroid as a whole as an example. This is easy. Zelda 2.
Zelda makes me think of like Wind Waker, and I feel like at the time a lot of people were down on it when I was up on it, but everyone has seemed to have come around.
No, I still hate Wind Waker. But, I mean, yeah, I'm in the minority.
I know I have an example of this, but I cannot for the life of me think of one. Devil May Cry 1, I guess? But I mean, that's hard to use as an example when 2 exists.
I was going to say 2 is
I was gonna
probably
say,
the one in that one,
Yeah,
right?
I feel like people like 1 and don't like 2. Much like Prince of Persia.
Okay.
I'm not in that camp either. And then everyone loves 3. It's the same for both.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
All right. Phantom Aegis writes, what are some of your favorite unusual combinations of food? For example, steamy jasmine rice with vanilla ice cream, or fish sticks and custard.
Usual combinations.
I don't think I have one of these.
Macaroni and cheese.
Oh,
The only thing
disgusting.
that came to mind, and I don't like this, but like my sister does it, and there's people that do this, is like macaroni and cheese with ketchup.
Yeah.
I did that as a kid when I was an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But, like, I also just don't like ketchup in general, so that's probably why I stopped doing that, because I hate ketchup.
I've grown to like not want it, but I would not say I dislike it. Like it's fine if it's there, but I'm never gonna like choose it as my condiment of choice.
Silver Moon says French fry and milkshake. There's a bunch of people that would like dip their fry in the frosty and stuff. I can't get behind that. I don't like it. I
wouldn't want to do it, but it's fine.
So it's not a favorite unusual combination for you then?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
This is if Nathan was here, he would say apple pie with cheddar cheese.
I've heard that's good, but I've never tried it.
Yeah, I've heard that's a thing. Yeah. I don't think I have one. I don't tend to like mix weird stuff together.
Yeah, I got a weird, like, picky palate, so I can't think of anything either.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything myself.
VGC Kenny says, is there a gray area for piracy? Piracy is generally a last resort for things you cannot get otherwise. With the 3DS and Wii U eShop shutting down, piracy is the only way to get some of those games now, but not all of them. Is piracy justified to get the 3DS or Wii U version of a specific game, even if it's available elsewhere? I am of the stance of that if there is no other legal way to get a game, it's abandonware.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. That's true.
Yeah.
That's science.
I think the first question there is there a gray area for piracy? All piracy is a gray area.
Yeah. So the answer to that is a definitive yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I guess the only like binary there is, are you in a store and are you about to shoplift? Because that is not okay.
I mean, that is literal piracy, but unfortunately, that's also illegal. That's actually like illegal.
I'm weirdly an apologist for piracy because it's like the only way that some games will ever exist longer than like maybe a weekend or something. So yeah, I'm bad to ask about this because I kind of think everything should be at least backed up somewhere, and then
I mean,
what people do. Yeah.
I'm obviously big on archiving. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a game collector.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I recognize not everyone should do this. It's not also physically possible for everyone to do this. So, like,
yeah.
if you want to have the experience, if it's the only way to do it, fucking do it.
There's also weird, like, gray area, again, of some games that, like, if I could buy it, that the people that made it probably aren't getting that money anyways. It's probably just some random dude who found it, like, in his garage or, like, so, yeah, I don't know. It depends on the game. I think downloading, like, Metroid Prime Remastered or something and then playing that is not great. But if we're talking about, like, that, I don't know, one of those, like, $100 NES carts or something, and you just want to play the game, like, I probably wouldn't care about something like that.
And if when I think about the 3DS and the Wii U one, it's like it does suck that they closed down, but you had plenty of notice. Like, that wasn't like a secret thing that was just dropped on you.
Yeah.
However, if this question came up, let's say 5 years from now, and maybe you were too young to have noticed when it got shut down, then you have absolutely no options, and that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a question you have to ask yourself, because
I mean, it's a moral choice at the end of the day.
It is a moral choice. There's not going to be a cop beside your computer when you're doing it. And it's just I try to think of, like, I want the industry to keep going, and if everyone stole every game, the industry would not keep going.
No.
So, you got to kind of choose, what are you going to spend your money on, and what are you going to pirate, and what do you feel okay doing with?
Yeah. Agreed. All right. Final question from Rasterman7. What's a bar, cafe, or coffee shop from a video game that you definitely go to if it were remade in real life? For example, the one from Coffee Talk or the cafe from Catherine.
If I drank,
When I saw people, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if I drank, I would love to go to Rodin's bar from, like, Bayonetta.
Oh man, yeah, that's pretty good.
When I was seeing people answer this, before I saw that when I saw people answering this in the Discord before I read the question, and I started reading the question, my answer was going to be the bar from Catherine.
Okay.
Even though it's there as the example, but that's what jumped to mind for sure. Brewster's from Animal Crossing was another one. Although that place, it's pretty quiet. Like, sometimes you'll have, like, a guest or two in there, but it's like, I want like a poppin' bar. Like, I know there will always be people or NPCs to hang out with.
Sure. Yeah.
And sometimes you can enjoy just being in a bar and it just being quiet. Like, there's just like a calm before the storm kind of feel. But I get you. If you're going out to be social, you want to be social.
I guess when I'm looking at the game ones, it's not exactly the atmosphere. It's probably I was having, like, a cool time with an NPC, and that's what I'm nostalgic for and whatnot.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it could just be, like, almost any place.
Yeah. Like, one of the first things that popped in my mind is, like, I would love to visit Valhalla, but, like, would I? Because the people there are kind of shit. Like, I don't know. It's one of those things, like, I like that game, but would I want to be in that place with the clientele?
cyberpunk bartending.
Yeah, the bartender
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, not literal
like-
Valhalla where all warriors go.
I was
Yeah,
like,
no,
are you talking
one
about,
day
like,
I'll go
Assassin's
there, for
Creed? Are you
sure.
He wants to
talking
go to the
about, like,
afterlife, is what he's saying.
Mad Max, because they were all for Valhalla. Like, which one are we talking? What game are we talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, even Valhalla, it's like the characters. So it's almost kind of like, which characters would you just like to hang out with in kind of a quiet space?
Yeah.
Because like Coffee Talk's a good example of it. There's nothing like actually that unique about that coffee shop. It is rainy outside in Seattle, and there is a nice part about being like indoors while it's storming outside. But you're there just chatting with those people. There's nothing about the coffee shop itself.
Sure. Yeah, I can't think of, like, I'm trying to even think, is there a restaurant that, like, their food in the game looks really good that I would like to try, but I can't think of anything specific right now. Otherwise, the one that came to my head instantly was, because I've been kind of playing it off and on recently, is Cafe LeBlanc in Persona 5. It's just fresh on the mind. But again,
That's a cozy place too.
that cafe like totally exists somewhere in the world because it's literally a realistic cafe. Like, so yeah.
I will say, Coffee Talk 2 comes out at the end of the month. I'm
True.
psyched.
True.
Well, I'll be traveling,
Yeah.
so I can't play it for a bit.
Yeah.
All right, that does it for questions. If you want to send in questions for next week, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What's your game of the week?
I guess the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, Dredge, for sure. Easy.
Dredge. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.